often put it this way. In order for us to be in the state that we're in today as people, we have to be out of our minds. We literally have to be crazy. It is necessary for us to be crazy. It is necessary for us to be backwards. It is necessary for us to be maladjusted. It is necessary for us to be disunited. It is necessary for us to be self-hating. It is necessary for us to be filled with an inferiority complex. In a world where the European is essentially about 10% of the world's population, if that 10% is to continue to rule over the other 90%, it must keep that 90% out of its mind. It must keep that 90% in a state of deception. It must keep...
Thank you for tapping in. This is Brian HRap Williams. This is the Intervention Media. This is a program called A Few Minutes with HRap. If you are watching live, hit like, share, tell a friend to tap in. If you're watching at a later time, good evening, good morning, good night, you can go to www.theintervention.com and see all my work over the last 90 days. And you can be on, if you're on YouTube, you can go to the live tab and see everything I've done. Now, with that being said, this is a program called A Few Minutes with HRap, where I do everything I can to uplift the community and put our community in a better situation. My mantra is make life for our great-grandchildren's grandchildren better than we can ever dream it is today. Now, with that being said, thank you. I have to acknowledge my parents, Dolores and John. Without Dolores and John, there is no me. Without me, you'd be doing something else with your valuable time. Thank you. Hit like, hit share if you haven't already. Now, wants versus needs. Wants versus needs. We have been duped into this concept called capitalism. Capitalism goes against everything that is in nature. Capitalism is about abundance. Nature is about needs and what you have. When you are an animal, you gather enough to carry you through. Even when you look at the Bible, and it speaks about when they were on the journey, the 40-year journey, God gave them opportunities to pick up things that they needed. If you picked up an abundance that it rotted, and then you felt horrible and you saw it was a waste, you never need more than you need. You need what you should never want what more than you need. And there's nothing wrong with having a big, beautiful home. There's nothing wrong with having a nice vehicle. There's nothing wrong with having the things that you desire, because even the word of God says he will give you the things that you desire. But when you exceed these amounts and you hoard and other people are suffering, that's when you're wrong. And that's the concept of the Western Hemisphere's version of capitalism. You are capitalizing on other people's work and ideas so you can enhance what you have. We all work. We all engage. But what we need to be doing is encouraging each other to do the things that we need to do in order to enhance our community, our community, our city, our county, our state, our country, and at the end of the day, the entire world. If you're not doing that, you're doing it wrong, because when you push out, the more you push out in a charitable heart, the more you will receive. So that abundance that you're looking for comes in you giving. Now, you'll look around and you'll see people that'll say, hey, man, that's crazy. I'm not doing that. You have to be outside of your mind. And at the end of the day, they may be right. They may be right. But at the end of the day, what I want us to realize is we're trapped into this world that fights against everything that our nature designed for us. Everything that we were born to do, we are doing the antithesis of it at this moment. And I want you to understand that. If you're not understanding that, you're doing this thing called life wrong. If you're not living for the advancement of everyone, that means you are living for the advancement of no one. Everyone likes things. Everyone has a regard for things. Hey, man, I really wish I could have a nice car. I really wish I could have the ideal mate. This person that would love me to no end. We all love and want those things, but the way to get to them is not to hoard, to exclude, to put people in bad situations so you can advance. Not believe that just because someone has something, you have something, and someone else doesn't, they didn't do what it was necessary, take the necessary steps to enhance themselves. And this is what is considered the threat of capitalism. Capitalism is a system that allows you to hoard, allows you to put people in status, put people in certain statuses and say, hey, you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Therefore, you don't have what you need to have. Now, seeing how I spelled threat wrong, we're going to correct that. And we'll come back to it because y'all know I'm blind until I get my new glasses back. But we're not going to worry about those things. What we're going to do is this. We're going to fix things on the fly, and that's what doing something live gets you. You are forced to fix things on the fly, and bam, there it is. The threat of capitalism. The threat of capitalism puts you in a situation to where as you will step on anyone's neck, step or kick anybody in the back, stab anyone in the back, and put you in a situation that you really naturally do not belong in. You have people who, hey man, I did what I had to do to get what I want. Therefore, you need to know, no, you had a hand up. And if you're not willing to extend that hand, you're in violation of nature, which is a violation of the creator of the universe. Point blank period, where you can call him God, Jehovah Jireh, Allah, whatever you want to apply to your deity. That is the antithesis of what he's here to do. When you watch nature shows, you see a pride of lions hunt down a gazelle, and then they eat them, and they eat their pride eats, and then other animals come, and then the buzzards come, and this carcass is laying there, and everyone has eaten something. That's the way the world is designed to be. That's the way we have been created to be. And if you're not trying to live in that fashion, you are in violation of nature, which is a violation of God. You've been told, hey, man, you have to get yours. Rugged individualism, I spoke on it in the past. It's not the way to go. You can, oh, man, you have to get yours. Well, you know what? You can live that way, but I need you to stop complaining about people not doing the right things. Because when you are living in the universe in which you are hoarding things and everybody has, or not everyone has, don't wonder why people are doing things so they can get. See, crime, there's a simple recipe to criminality. Remove people's opportunities and they will do whatever it takes to survive, period. Wherever you see the highest crime rates on earth, in the Western Hemisphere, in these United States, go there and look at the opportunities for people. When those opportunities are reduced, that crime is enhanced. You can look at all the statistics. The opportunities are there. No, you don't know that because you are adhering to foolishness that people have set they set these things in front of you and told you this is the way it's going to go. That's not the way it's going to go. That's not the way it is. People don't sell drugs, don't commit larcenous acts. They don't do these things because that's what they're trained to do. That's the only option they have. And that's what they do is react in accordance to their situation. And you can pontificate and sit around and say, hey, well, I didn't, and I grew up in those same situations, and God bless you. If you were able to overcome the foolishness and the madness and the chaos, thank God you were. But everybody isn't as strong as you. That's why we have things called leaders. That's why we have opportunities for people to step up and lead the people, whether it be a freedom fighter like Huey P. Newton and Fred Hampton and Bobby Rush and others of that nature, whether it be a pastor like the great Dr. Martin Luther King, or a minister like the great Malcolm X, or a creator of a system like Noble Drew Ali, Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and his teacher, Marcus Garvey. Yes. These people are leaders. They are putting people in place. And hey, are they flawed? Of course they are, because they're people. But if you're looking for the perfect person, won't you start in the middle, in the mirror? And if that person isn't there, then understand that everybody's not going to do it the way you think it should be done or the way you feel it should be done. But what we need to do is focus on overriding what people want versus what people need. See, a lot of people will sit around and say, I want, I want, I want. And guess what? They only know one way to get it, and that's the nefarious way. And if you don't have the opportunities to engage with people who can point you in the right directions, whether it be a vocation or academic, then you may fall victim to criminality. And how about this? Let's stop judging people who fallen into that trap. Seeing how it is a trap, and we've identified it as a trap. How about doing everything you can to keep people out of that trap? See, it's easy to sit around and say what people should and should not do and what they should and should not know. And because of what you did, well, you know what? You may have had a mentor. You may have had an example. May have had something that kept you out of that. But capitalism keeps you believing that it's all on you. I did it. If it wasn't for me, you don't count your parents. You don't count your grandparents. You don't count the elders in your family. You don't even count the people, your peer group. Because guess what? Your peers may have opportunities that you don't have, and they may expose those opportunities to you. And you believe because you took advantage of it, you did something. No, it was the person with the opportunity that did it, presented to you, and you enhanced your life. Everyone doesn't have that opportunity. I personally know of people who wanted to be rappers and they were immersed in hip hop culture, and they didn't include one of their friends who could have been the next person to be a figure like a Russell Simmons, a figure like a Sean Combs, a figure like a Eric Wright, a figure like a James Prince, or a figure like a Marion Suge Knight, who created an entity, but they left them out, which could have been the missing piece of the puzzle. You see what I'm saying? If everyone isn't including everyone in the mission, and then people who are not part of that mission, they will just naturally drop off, then you may miss out on an opportunity. And guess what? That opportunity is your way out. But we don't worry about those things. What we do is say, what I, and then complain that people don't help, we're not unified like we used to be. And you make all these high-arching, opportunistic claims, but you haven't followed through with the advent of nature, with the natural course of events of nature. And what I mean by that, wolves work in packs, lions work in packs, even prehistoric animals worked in packs, raptors worked in packs. This means togetherness is the key. People hunted in packs. Wars are fought in groups. Some people are nature nurturers. Some people get it through nature. Some people are builders. Some people are agricultural geniuses. Some people are scientists, but those people all work together to enhance the entire village. And that's what happened when, especially my community, I can't speak for other communities, when we were put in chains on this land and stripped of our languages, stripped of our culture, stripped of our rituals and things of that nature. We lost that. And that is the threat of capitalism. Well, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to see it my way, but that is the threat of capitalism. The threat of capitalism makes you separate from the pack, makes you separate from the herd, make you separate from the pride, and an individual on earth will die. The human being, and I continue to say this, the human being is the only animal on the face of the earth that need other animals in accordance to his group and according to his sect to be the best person he can be. When you are a human being, if you take a puppy, a kitten, and a baby and put them in the middle of the forest, more than likely the baby is going to perish. The puppy will grow up and be a dog. The kitten will grow up and be a cat. If you do that same experiment and put them in a group of chimpanzees, the puppy will grow up and be a dog and do things that dogs do. The kitten will grow up to be a cat and do things that cat do. And the baby, if he survives, will grow up to act as if he is a primate. And that's the way it goes, people. That's the way we were designed. That is the design of the divine creator. We need each other. And if you are participating in capitalism, that threat will be presented to you, and you will lose your innate ability to work together, and you will reduce yourself to a lone wolf, which will put yourself in a disadvantage. And when you're at a disadvantage and you are under attack, you will lose who you are, what you are, how you were created, and you will lose everything about yourself. And that is the primary course of capitalism, if you are not able to fix that now. But when you're in a different mindset, when you dealing with a different set of rules, when you are living under the rule of man, not the rule of the popular, rule of God, not the rule of man, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. What you need to do is understand the exploitation of capitalism. The exploitation of capitalism puts you in a disadvantage. That disadvantage will only destroy you ultimately. The exploitation of capitalism makes you believe you're by yourself. It makes you believe that you need to spend money and that will determine what you are and who you are. And that's just not the case, people. You don't need to spend your money. You don't need to donate to capitalism to make yourself be part of something. No, you don't. That's why people buy Louis Vuitton's bags. That's why they buy Mercedes-Benz. That's why they buy a bigger house than they need. That's why they do the things because I have, and I want to show it off because these things bring value to me and not my actions, my work, and my mentality. Your being is the valuable part of you, not what the being wears, not what the being carries, not what the being smells like, not what the being presents. Your being, your essence will determine who you are. And capitalism, that's the exploitation of that being, because that being is reduced. That God force that is inside of you is reduced. And when that God force is that negative energy appears, and then you think because you have, you're better than. And you're not. You're not. Guess what? Here's the beauty in the evil of capitalism. The evil of capitalism makes you believe that other people are less than. And it will make you feed it. Capitalism is the way capitalism is presented in the Western Hemisphere and throughout the world, especially in these United States. You will do what you have to do, even if you kill, rob, steal, and destroy others to be where you want to be. How does that work? Because guess what? Mr. or Mrs. I want to show off and expose myself to the glory of the world. You know what you're missing out on? Here's the beauty in that. You're missing out on who you are. You're missing out on the beauty in assisting. But capitalism tells you, hey, I need to have. And that system is fed by that mentality. I'm going to rob, kill, steal, poison, and destroy anybody so I can be at the top. But if you're at the top and there's no foundation, the top will soon crumble. That top will topple like you wouldn't believe. And the exploitation of capitalism makes you fund the destruction of your world. I am going to give someone $1,500 for a bag that costs $25 to make so I can walk around and destroy your personality and get you to buy into that same mentality. So now they've spent $60, made $3,000, and you don't have anything of value. You've destroyed yourself. And then you wonder why, you wonder how, and you wonder what you're doing. Because you're alone and the people around you have separated because they are less than, and it has changed the essence. Your being, it has changed the essence of who you are. That's the thing in capitalism. Hey, I want a castle with a moat around it, but you don't realize that the moat separates you from the protections of the people. See, the people will stop you from thinking that way. The people will slow down the greed. The people will show you need to help. And when you see that you need the help and you see that God's working through you or the creator or whatever, however you identify your deity, or even if you don't identify a specific deity, the essence, however you identify that thing that guides you, that moral compass is destroyed by capitalism. That moral compass is destroyed by capitalism because now you're in a competition. You ever seen animals compete? No. When you see a pack of hyenas, you see a pack of lions, you see buzzards in the sky. The lions eat, then the hyenas eat, the buzzards in the sky eat. And guess what? They're never competing against each other because they understand how it works. Now, if the hyenas want to go hunt, they can do that. And then they don't have everything that they need. See, the thing is, nature works in succession. Guess what? That gazelle that is destroyed, or the Cape buffalo that is destroyed by that pride of lions, that is in essence eaten by the lions, then the scraps are picked over by the hyenas, and then the buzzards eat it. The rest of that carcass goes into the ground. It's biodegradable. Those things are allowing weeds, grass, and other things in regards to the earth to be enhanced. There's a bear dying somewhere. There is a fox dying somewhere, and it's returning to the earth and enhancing that soil. That's why do you think manure enhances farm products? Why do you think those animals biodegradably in returning to the essence of the earth makes the land more pure, enhances it? Because that's the way it works. So if the earth needs the animals and the people to return to it to enhance the texture of the soil, why wouldn't you need other people to enhance your life instead of being exploited by the ills of capitalism? Because capitalism tells you don't help because they made a poor decision. But guess what? That's a poor decision that you're making. So should you be helped? Well, I got here by myself. No, you got here through your parents. Because without your parents, you're not here. You got here through your grandparents. You got here through your uncles, aunts, neighbors, friends, and family. And again, if they didn't help you, someone did. Unless you hit the lottery. But guess what? Someone gave you the ticket. Someone told you about the lottery. Someone told you about the sport. Someone gave you academic assistance. Every time you turned around, someone was helping you, but you thought you did it yourself. And that is the way of capitalism. It destroys the human essence of the person. It destroys everything about that person. So you will feel, I have, therefore I am. No, you are because we are. Ubuntu. That's an African saying. I am because we are. And until you get back to that mind state, you will continue to suffer because people, well, he used drugs or he used alcohol or he made poor decisions. Now, anytime you have a problem, that's the beginning of that problem. Even when you're looking at something like disease, when your body is at ease, dis-ease. Now, when you're dealing with something like diabetes, too much sugar in your blood, cataracts, too much sugar in your eye, dementia, too much sugar in your brain. Well, we need to be spreading the word about the reduction of sugar and other illicit drugs, because sugar is a drug. You're addicted to it more than you ever know. And then, guess what? Diabetes isn't caused by sugar. It's caused by the meat that you eat. Cancer is because you put so many chemicals in your body and you take time to pack things into your body. Look, just when you're a child, a baby, an infant, when you feed an infant, 20 minutes later, that baby is defecating and urinating and getting everything out of his body. Are you doing that? 20 minutes after you eat, are you defecating? Are you urinating? Are you allowing your body to extract the things that it doesn't need? And then allowing the blood to flow properly. And then when that blood flows properly, it's filtering your body. And it's filtering your body. It's going through your kidneys and your liver. It's going through your kidneys and liver. In the morning, it comes out of your eyes. It comes out of your intestinal tract. Are you living like that? Or are you piling 3 meals a day into your body and never allowing your body to rest, relax, and enhance it and naturally heal itself? See, capitalism tells you opulence is the key. More food, more snacks, more this. But guess what? You ever heard of anybody getting fat because they ate too many cucumbers? They ate too much arugula. They ate too much kale. They ate too many carrots. They ate too many apples. They ate too many pears. They ate too much water. No, you will never see that because it's not the way it works. Do you ever see a fat lion? Do you ever see a primate? Do you ever see fat things in nature? No. Elephants, the biggest animal in the world, he's not fat. He's a ginormous individual. But we're not paying attention to nature. We're paying attention to things and the people who are exploiting us. And that's where we go wrong. That is the exploitation of capitalism. But it's always a way out. It's always a way out, because you must have a revolutionary mentality. When you're looking at the Huey P. News, you're looking at the Geronimo Press, you're looking at the HRap branch, you're looking at the Fred Hamptons, you're looking at the Bobby Hudson and these guys. Revolution, even though you see these guys that are armed, the armed revolution is a European mind state, because the European revolution has always resulted in bloodshed. But you know what? We can have a revolution as well. And you know what that revolution leads to? That leads to this: freedom from capitalism. The freedom from capitalism will get you this, will get you the ability to help, enhance, and engage. Freedom from capitalism will get you, again, to help, enhance, and engage. How are you going to help? You are going to enhance the mind of people. Hopefully, I'm doing that currently. You're enhancing the spirit of people. You're enhancing the physical of people. How? How can you do that? When you enhance the mind of people, you make people realize things don't make you valuable. How you help people does. The most valuable man in the world shares knowledge. He doesn't share money. He doesn't share things. He instills wisdom, understanding, knowledge. Because when you have wisdom, you understand that, yes, you do need money, but you don't need money to lord over people. You need money to purchase things and live a comfortable life. Knowledge, how to get that money, how to maintain that money, and how to share that money. Understanding, in the event that you don't have the money that I have, allow me to assist you in obtaining it and allow you to protect that said money. See, we don't do those things as a culture, and we sit around and blame people for their lack thereof. And why would you blame people for the lack thereof when it comes to anything? Because their lack thereof is only you being able to lord over them. Why would you want to lord over anyone? Why would you want to put yourself in a situation to whereas people around you don't and you do, and you're not willing to help enhance that? See, we have to. We don't have a choice in this matter. We must help people destroy capitalism. The freedom from capitalism is what I'm speaking of. The freedom of having a community that's helping each other. The freedom of having a group of people that's doing everything they can to ensure that everyone in that community is the best that they can be. If you have information on how to repair, share with everyone. Because guess what? There'll still be people that don't want to do it, and you can charge them and enhance them as well. So now you're sharing your wares, and you receive compensation for your wares, and that provides the protection that a firearm and any other thing will assist you with, because that person will naturally be indebted to you, not financially, but indebted to you spiritually, because you helped me when I didn't. And then in the event that they have something that you need, it will be a fair even swap. Is not a swindle. So I will prepare something for you, enhance something for you, repair something for you, enhance something for you, or give you the information on how to repair and enhance. And I will receive that positive energy, because guess what? It will always be HRap helped me, and then I help this person. Now you have two allies, and then you and that person will help this person, and you and that person. Now you 10 people through. Now you got 10 people enhancing, and when you fall, they'll be there to pick you up. But rugged individualism, capitalism, and exploitation of the human mental tells you that you can't do that, because they won't appreciate in accordance to whose mindset. Who told you that? And if you do run into people who are not willing to enhance the community, enhance the spirituality of the person, enhance the people, then what you do is not change who you are, change the people around you. If Chuck D, 1999, he had a song on Mr. Chuck D's album. If you can't change the people around you, then change the people around you. And that does not mean every man, every woman, every child, every negative thing that you see is not applicable to everyone around you. That means the people that it's not applicable to, remove them from the herd. Remove them from the herd. And guess what? Never allow them back in the herd, because if they are truly sorry, if they are truly remorseful, they'll create a herd that will, in essence, they'll create a herd that will help, and your herd that will help. And now it's two herds going towards the same goal. That's what it's called unity. We don't need uniformity. We need unity. When you have unity, then I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, I'm a Buddhist, I'm participating in Judaism, I'm a Muslim, I am whatever walk of life that I choose. But the ultimate goal is the freedom and emancipation of the human people that look like you and your tribe, that are bi-tribal. Whether you European tribe, you're the African tribe, you're the Asian tribe, you're the South Asian and the North Asian, whether it be Mongolia, Russia, China, India, no matter what tribe it is, the great continent of Africa, South America, North America, bi-tribal, as I stated, or individual tribes that need to be enhanced, uplifted, and empowered. If you are not buying into this mind state, you are doing the antithesis of what the creator of the universe wanted us to do. Again, if you're not buying in, you're anti. And if you're anti, we don't need to destroy you. We don't need to emasculate you. We don't need to destroy your mental. We need to separate from you until you find your way back to the herd mentality and putting yourself in a situation to whereas you can enhance the world. If your life isn't adding positivity to the world, then you, my friend, are wasting the life God has given you. You can buy into capitalism if you like, but you will find yourself alone in a crowded room, because if you embody what is called scientific socialism, to whereas there's a method to your madness and you can be king. If you notice, no matter what sect of religion, there are kings, there are dukes, there's a hierarchy. If you want to be part of the hierarchy, what you need to do, if you notice in those stories, those people helped, and then they became king. You're thinking king on the crown. They may just be king at their home. They may be able to enhance and purchase land and have the ability to take care of themselves. That's a king. A king isn't someone who exclusively lords over a terrain. He may just lord over his terrain. He may have 200 acres of land, 75 employees, 5 or 10 children, and a wife. He enhances his children. Him and his wife enhances the land. His wife enhances him. He enhances her. He's the king of that domain. If you want to be the king of your domain or a domain, how about working with instead of working against? How about the enhancement instead of the judgment? How about this? Allowing yourself to be a servant of the creator versus being a servant of the system. The system is for the destruction of the people, and if you don't stop, you will live in it and you will die for it. With that being said, I want to thank you for tapping in. Once again, this is Brian HRap B. Williams. This is the End of the Bench Media. A few minutes with HRap. Hit like, hit share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe if you haven't. I am.
Growth in wisdom, knowledge, you see, self-understanding and self-discovery, healthy relations, self-control, all those things are hateful. But this is the only way a minority can rule over a majority of people, is by turning their minds backwards so that they love the things that destroy them and hate the things that move them forward. In order for these people to rule over us, we must hate learning. It has to be built into us. We must think that we can't do math. Because you see, if we do math, if we were into learning, if we were into research and into thinking and into, real philosophical ideas and abstractions, we would defeat those people. They know it. So consequently, what they must do is rob you of all of these things so that they may stay in there.